Welcome to the Dirty Tea Podcast. My name is Donna.
And I'm Amanda, and we're excited for you to join us where you'll be served the dirtiest tea.
We are best friends from the Midwest who love other people's drama.
And we'd rather spill your tea on air than behind your back.
So feel free to submit your dirty tea for us to read on air.
Or sit back, fill your cup with whatever tickles your fancy, and get ready for the mess.
All right. Happy Friday, you guys. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I'm so glad this week is over. Thank you for joining us. I think this week, I don't know about you, but this week has been very trying for me. I think it's like sickness all around.
Yeah.
Either sickness or like the winter blues.
Just nasty shit going around. I think it's like half winter blues and half like, because it's not even a regular winter. Like, we're not getting the snow that we normally get. It's really not that cold. So I'm not complaining, but then at the same time, it's just not the same.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think it's because like we're so used to like going out and doing things all the time where it's just like all of a sudden it's just like a shutdown. And then we're not going out and doing things, and then like the sickness, and there's just this yucky illness going around. And so, but I hope you guys, I know, seriously, but I hope all of you guys are taking care of yourself and doing well and getting ready to enjoy the weekend and tuning in and listening to us. And if you know, I'm sure you are because you're listening. Thank you so much. And yeah, so we're ready to rock and roll. But
rock and roll, baby.
But yeah, we're gonna dive right in. You want to start, or you want me to start?
You go ahead, start.
All right.
No, wait, I want to start.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, no, you go ahead and start.
I was gonna make a sassy comment, like let's say, you know, the best for last or something, but okay, the best will go first.
Okay.
All right. So this one says, my grandmother married my mom's ex-boyfriend.
Interesting.
So
okay.
My mom broke up with the guy because she thought there was something going on with him. And obviously it was, because now my grandmother married my mom's ex-boyfriend and now he's her stepfather.
That is so weird.
Isn't that gross?
I wonder, like, did they tell, like, how old they all were and everything? Like,
well, think about it. You got the 3 generations, right? So even if she was like in her early 20s, the mom's got to be in her late 30s and the grandma's in her 50s.
Right. Maybe. It might be a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, maybe. I don't know. If grandma is still, you know, yanking men from her, it's just weird.
Yeah. So now he's her stepfather and he used to bang her
mother. No, he would be her grandfather, her step-grandfather.
Yeah, he used to be, now he's her step-grandfather, but he used to be her mom's, no, not stepfather, just her mom's boyfriend.
So they were never married.
They were never married.
The grandma.
Yeah.
He married the grandma.
He married the grandma.
Damn.
Yeah, he married.
Did it say how long he was like with the mom? Like how long they were?
It doesn't even matter. Does it even matter? It's the fact that they dated.
But I mean, I know, but I mean, like, just think of like what a big ass slap in the face the mom must feel, because not only did you like date this guy and he wouldn't marry you, but he cheated on you
with your mom.
And then got married to her.
He's like,
so you were not good enough for him to.
But your mom is.
Yeah, but your mom is everything he dreamed of, because he like immediately put a ring on it. So
you know, like think about it. Like, you're sitting around the dinner table and he's like, you know, and you got the, you know, he's got a, you know, you're thinking like, man, my mom's punani's better, you know.
Ew. Or just think, he probably said it to her. He probably was like, yeah, your mom is better anyway.
Right.
She's better anyway.
Wait, dude. It all, okay, this is me thinking nasty, right? All the positions that he's doing with you, he's now doing it with your mom.
Right.
Dude.
All the things, like, hopefully he doesn't have, like, I don't know, like,
and all the things that he said to you, he's now saying it to your mom. Like,
so when he's like, call me daddy. we know, you know,
She's not.
grandma, mom,
She's not calling him daddy.
he's gonna be setting his sights on great grandma next. Like
He's climbing up the little. He ain't even climbing up the ladder. He's climbing up the quilt.
Ew. Ew. He's climbing up the quilt.
He's climbing up the quilt.
One Ted stocking at a time, just peeling them off.
He's climbing up that quilt.
So this one says, I found an album of horrible photos of me on my boyfriend's phone. I've been with my boyfriend for almost 3 years, and I had suspicions about him cheating and found myself looking through his phone. So when I searched his photos, I found an album with like 15 to 20 pictures of the most unattractive photos of me I've ever seen. These pictures were horrible photos of my face throwing up while sick, ugly crying on FaceTime, sleeping in weird positions, etc. So she said she confronted him about it right away, and then when she put him on the spot, he said he didn't know why he did it. He came up with the idea to tell her because he thought it was funny, but that's all she can get out of him. And she was like, "I'm so confused. What do you think the reasoning behind that was? How do you even handle a situation like that?" Dun dun dun.
Dude, my fiance and I just had this conversation like a week ago. Do you remember?
Okay.
Do you? Oh no, and then we had this conversation too. Do you remember when we were driving back from New Year's Eve and we had this conversation that Ti did this to Tiny, where
Yes.
he
Yeah. The live stream. Yeah.
yes, and okay, so off topic. He was on live stream and he was like on his phone like this, and he had passed her the phone, and she had no makeup on. She had a little mustache going on. No hate on that. We all wax, okay? She had a little mustache going on. She had wax, and someone took a screenshot of that, and she was looking kind of rough. Dude,
Mm.
I told my fiance if he ever put me out like that, we'd be fighting, okay? But for but for him to have pictures of her being unattractive, why would he keep photos like that? That's weird.
Like, especially like it's one thing to be like, oh, it's a picture that you find unflattering of yourself, right? But
Right.
it's like pictures of you like ugly crying, like screenshots of you crying on
Yeah.
FaceTime and like throwing up, and
Yeah.
it starts to make you wonder like what the fuck are you really doing
Was
with
he
those?
is he keeping it to like blackmail her at one point, or at any time, like, or is he keeping it to like be like, don't fuck with me, like if we break up, here's I got something on you, just to kind of keep it in his back pocket? And if he's already thinking that far ahead, like, it makes me think.
Yeah, that's just like evil shit.
Right.
People are
That's
fucking weird, man. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't have any unflattering photos of my fiance on my phone, and if I do, he knows of it, and
Yeah.
it's a funny one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like when you like have an understanding of like, oh, this is a funny picture,
Right.
like a joke between the two of you,
Yes.
but not like you're hiding and taking like pictures,
Right.
without the person knowing, and then like it's a joke between you, yourself, and you. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Right. You just don't do that. That's like vindictive.
Yeah.
I would
It's
never do
like
that.
crazy.
Right.
Like you can't help but to like go to worst case scenario
Right.
in a situation like that, because why the fuck else would you have
Right.
that kind of,
Like I always joke, like I have a lot of videos on people, like but I say that as a joking way. I would never do that. But I always
yeah,
say like, oh, I have a lot of stuff to blackmail you, but I would never do that. Like, don't fuck
right.
me over. I have it.
Okay.
So this one says, I ended things with my boyfriend due to his overbearing mom. She was simply too much. She coaxed him into treating her onto dates, which he'd have to foot the bill for, call and text her all the time, monitor his finances, prepare his lunch for him for work, and even handle his laundry, even though he's 19. Um, my own relationship with my parents isn't that tight, but I get it. And became too much for me, so I broke it off with him. What are your thoughts?
That's interesting. I mean, because on one side of things, he's 19 years old, so he's basically still a child. So, like, of course his mom is still heavily involved in his life, like, to an extent, you have to expect that he's still pretty young, you know? And she's just grew up, she even said it herself, she grew up in a different kind of, like, environment. Like, her family may not have been as involved in her life as his family is in his. So it's like a culture shock. But, like,
But
he's
at
19.
19, your mom's still washing your dirty drawers?
Dudes are slow, man. Like, it takes them a while. Like, there's probably
I don't
dudes
know.
that are like our age that still don't know how to do their laundry,
No, that's fucked up. No. You shouldn't be getting no kind of punani if you can't wash your drawers if you're our age. None.
I mean, I agree. I completely agree with you. But he's 19, and I know we look 19, but we're not. So, I mean, I don't know. I think it's like, of course, yes, his mom could probably teach him to do his laundry. Like, there are things where he could do, like, take on more independence because he can't expect his mom to do that shit forever.
Monitor his
But
finances. I mean, at 19 years old, you should know how to balance a checkbook.
I don't think I knew how to balance a checkbook at 19. But then again, like, I've probably written like 10 checks in my entire life.
Not even checks. I'm talking about like monitor your finances.
Well, I mean, and yeah, I mean, that's how kids are these days. They don't know how to monitor their finances. They get money and they want to spend it and spend it. And then you also got to think he's probably not working. So his mom monitoring his finances is basically like she's giving him an allowance.
Prepare his lunches for work. Prepare
So
his lunches for work.
Maybe he's just a fucked up individual. Maybe I'm just making excuses.
You're making excuses. So that means that you would date a guy that his mom prepares lunches, probably put a little note that says, "Have a good day, Baba," with a little smiley face. Put little notes in there every day, little tic-tac-toe. I put an X, it's your turn. What do you want? Where do you want to put the O?
Listen, okay. I'm just trying to make people not feel bad about it.
No.
There's plenty of
Fuck that. If you're 19 years old and you can't balance a fucking checkbook or monitor your finances, fuck you.
Whoa.
Like,
whoa. 0 to 100.
Like, no.
Really personal.
Like, no.
I was gonna say, like, our main demographic is 19-year-old male. So I'm really just trying to appeal to
No. If your mom is still making your school lunch or work lunch at 19 years old while you're working at Best Buy trying to sell a laptop, and your mom's making you work lunch,
not even
fuck
Best
you.
Buy. Be honest, okay? They're not even working at Best Buy. They're like, at McDonald's, So their mom doesn't have to pack lunch because they get lunch for free.
They get the
when
free
they
meal.
Work. So, duh, Okay. So, this one says, this girl that I started talking to, tried to test me. So I met her too.
Damn girl. Girls are fucking wicked. Girls are evil. We will test you all fucking day.
But the thing is, you gotta know how to test somebody, so you don't get caught testing them. Like, they don't gotta know that you're testing them.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So he says, I met her 2 days ago and she gave me her number, but we talked more on Instagram, so I never saved her number, which was a mistake on my part. So she randomly hits me up on like, she texts him and he got confused because he didn't save the number and it was random. And then he said that she used information that he told her to, like, fabricate a whole different persona, and he thought that she was somebody else. So then she eventually told him that since it was so easy to get a conversation out of him, that he should leave her alone. And he's like, I definitely will, but isn't that weird behavior? And yes, it is.
She's definitely messed up in the head. That means that
2 fucking days, 2 days, bitch, and you're already, like,
messing with his head.
Yeah, playing traps and shit. Like, who does that?
That means that so if you mess with her, your whole life is going to get screwed up. Like,
right. Yeah, that's a
2 days.
Bitch. You know, let's be honest, okay? As women, we've all done it. We've all done that where it's like, get your friend to text your dude and be like, hey, baby, you single? Like, we all want to know how he's going to react, but not after 2
And if you
fucking
say you
days.
haven't done it, you're a
You're a
liar.
fucking liar.
You're a fucking liar.
You're a fucking liar if you say you haven't done that, okay?
I
And if you
trust my
haven't,
man.
that just
Bullshit.
means that means your man is ugly because if you don't think
He's too ugly to cheat. I'll always use that now. He's too ugly to cheat.
he's too ugly to cheat, that's why you don't give a fuck, you know. But some other people, they have to take precautions for
Right.
things like,
You always got to be on your toes.
yeah, exactly. You gotta be prepared. So
At least
I
once a
get what
month, you got to test him.
you gotta be really dedicated to this. Donna
Right.
has about 10 fake profiles. She's a
11.
fucking
I just
she's
created
an
one last
influencer
week.
in different countries. You know, like she's very, very involved, you
Very
know.
dedicated. You know, you never know. You never know.
Girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do.
But yeah, for real, going back to that. After 2 days, if she's already testing you like that, dude, run. Run,
Let it go.
Forrest. Run.
Yeah, run as fast as you can. Don't look
Don't
back.
look back.
You trip,
If the,
get the fuck up
right,
and keep
if you
going.
trip, fucking roll. Like
Right. By any means necessary. Get
right.
away from that. Oh my
Yeah. Collect your $200 and just go. Like
God.
go.
Go.
Yeah. No, fuck that. Okay. This one says, my quote unquote best friend would tell guys to act like they like me to prove that I would like anyone that showed interest in me. This went on for a couple years, and she and her sister kept a track of it in a book.
Wow. That is so mean.
That's super mean. Okay, that's next
That's
level
evil.
mean. That's
Yeah,
evil.
that's like girl shit, like for
Right.
real.
That's not even mean girl. That's evil girls. Like,
Yeah. Those are not your friends if
right,
they're like
right.
doing that shit behind your back.
Dude, if they have
And
the
they act like
audacity
they
to
care
keep
about
a
it.
book on it,
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, she'll go for anyone. Like,
right,
oh, we're just set her up with whoever we can get her with, and you know, they like make a game out of it. You know, and
right.
that's how you like that's some shit that you do to somebody
Yeah,
that you hate. You know what I
right.
mean?
And try
You
and then
really shouldn't. You didn't do it at all. Let's be honest. But like, if you were gonna do it, you would do it to someone that you fucking hate
right.
so much.
And then try to be your friend about it.
Right? That's so
That's
mean.
super mean. And then
Like that is why people have fucking like trust issues and
right.
shit because shit like that, like real shit.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Super mean.
How
I
would you
mean,
retaliate if you found out that somebody was doing that to you? Like, what would you do?
girl.
I'm sure it'd be something absurd and crazy as hell.
Okay, you want to know what I do?
I want to know.
I go fuck their daddy and make them my stepdaughter.
Oh my god. Yep. I knew it was gonna be something absurd. I don't even know why I asked. I didn't even know why I asked because
And then I ship their ass off to boarding school. Bye, bitch. Write
so
that
they're
down in your
grown.
book.
They're grown, but you gonna ship them out to boarding
I ship them
school.
off anywhere.
Mm. You go, Glen Coco. Okay.
Write that
You
off in
say
your book. I'll make a novel out of that shit. I win the Nobel Peace.
oh my. Well, you know, I'm here for it. I would probably just like cry a bunch and be like, I'm never gonna talk to you again.
Oh
Like
my gosh, no.
block
I'll
the
be the New
bitches.
York bestseller.
I'd like put a Facebook, like a quote on Facebook, like some people show you their true colors, and when they show you, you gotta believe. Like just
You,
some
you'll
weak
be the type
ass,
of girl that just posts like a bunch of like quotes, a bunch
right?
of quotes on Facebook and Instagram. Like,
Be like, I know what it's like to be alone, and I'm cool with it. Like,
I'll be walking down the aisle with her dad.
Like you bump into her at the grocery store.
Right.
Hey, honey, go to your room.
Right. Yep. Yep.
You're like, yeah, I do. I will go with anybody. Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Your daddy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I know, right?
I don't know. That's funny. Okay. I don't even know how we got like it went like way left.
That's
Okay.
what I'm saying. It's just us. Off track again. Here we go.
We're the problem. We're the problem. Okay. Okay, this one says my girlfriend pretended I didn't exist. One could certainly say I'm overthinking this, but I think I have the right to. So I've been with my girlfriend for 7 months. She's got everything I want from a girl, outright amazing. She's perfect, all that shit. So he's at a cafe with his friend a couple days ago, and his girlfriend came in, and she was there with a man that he had never seen before. So they weren't holding hands or anything like that, but they were very close to each other when they walked in. He tried to wave at her, and then she like noticed, but then like she like kept her head down. So then they went to the front of the cashier, got their shit, and then they left. So then he tried to call her, and she's declining his phone calls. And then she claims that the guy that she was with was her older brother, but she didn't want her brother to know that she had a boyfriend. So, but he said that she's made it clear on many occasions that she's told her family that they've been dating. She's told her about them. So now he thinks that she's lying. Um, or he thinks that she's lying about the fact that she told her
Mm-hmm.
family. He doesn't think that she's lying about the fact that she
Yeah.
was with her brother. So he's like, I have genuinely no clue whether I should believe her. I'd like to give her the benefit of the doubt since I'd grown to like her so much, but I wanted advice. Now keep in mind, the girlfriend is 21 and he's 23. So it's not like, like they're teenagers in a forbidden romance or
Yeah.
anything like that,
Yeah.
you know? So, yeah.
It could be one of two things. Right away, I'm thinking it could be where that guy was someone that she started to date. That's why she wasn't holding his hands, whatever. Where she went on probably on a first date with him, and she just happened to walk into,
See,
right,
yeah.
right. Or that was her doppelganger.
Yeah. Yeah. She
I
has
go
like
with that.
an evil twin sister who, happens to live
But
in the same.
no, I take that back. But she did admit that she saw him, and she just said it was
No,
her
he
brother.
said that he. Oh yeah, yeah, because they talked about it. Yeah,
Right.
very true.
So
So she did.
it's like first date. That's what I say. First date, and that's why she didn't hold his hand, and she had to come up with the brother thing.
Right.
But if
But why
she,
couldn't she pick up your phone call? Why couldn't she text you and just be like, "Hey, this is my brother. I'm
right,
like undercover or whatever." Like you could have done a whole lot of shit if you really wanted to get that point across to him.
right, and if you've
But
dated for
instead,
7 months, haven't they
right.
at least known about what if she had brothers or not?
Exactly. Like especially
That's
if she's
super sus.
told. Yeah, like if she's told the family about him, then you would have think that like maybe she would have shown him pictures, like this is my
Right,
mom, this is my
right,
brother, like
right.
God.
Lies.
And even if that was the case and it was her brother that she was with,
Yeah.
like he should still be offended. He should be like, damn, so why you gotta keep me a secret? Is
Right.
it because you think I'm too ugly to cheat and now I'm too ugly to meet your family too? Like, because she got him fucked up.
Yep. Yep. I think he's in denial.
Yeah,
Super
absolutely. Yeah.
denial.
hmm
So
She
yeah,
played you, bro.
he's going to continue to run with it. He's just going to keep being in denial, and she's just going to keep walking in with newfound brothers that she keeps continuing to, have that he don't know about until he
Well,
comes to terms with the fact that she's fucking behind his back.
she can't help it that she comes from a large family of
Right.
men. No, no. I mean, if he sees her with a different dude every week, like she just has a lot of family
She
members,
just
a
got a
lot of
lot of
brothers,
brothers,
cousins, uncles,
second cousins.
nephews, second cousins,
Right.
third cousin twice removed.
Right. All right. Okay. So this one says, He said, quote, "From your photo, I thought you were too good for me. I'm glad to see that you've got flaws." And then he started to list all my flaws
Oh, wait, like on a dating, like they were.
on a date.
Oh goodness.
He said, "From your photos, I thought you were too good for me. I'm glad to see that you've got flaws. What would you do if
And
a
they
guy?"
told
And he started to list all her flaws. It's a compliment, and
it is
uh,
not a compliment.
well,
Okay,
it's a compliment, and
everybody has flaws,
but
but you don't
you don't list
out
it. So what would you do
flaws.
if a guy said, "Man, I thought you were too good for me, but I mean, I guess you have flaws," and he started to list all your flaws? What would you do?
I'd be like,
Cry?
well, first, it's hard because I don't think I would find myself in a situation
But you can't
like
control that.
I can't control. Like, I don't think I'd find myself in a situation where I'd be face to face with somebody and they would tell me something like that. Like, if I go on a date with someone, like I know a lot about you and you know a lot about me. Like I don't do like blind dates and like, meet somebody 2 days later, I'm sending him text messages like, from my friend's phone. Like I don't do shit like that, So if I get to the point of in person, so like if I was talking to someone,
Mm-hmm.
say like, like in the early stages and they
Yeah.
were to say that to me, then I would be like, well, you have flaws too. And
Would you
I'd be
list them?
like, I probably wouldn't though. I'd be like, but I'm not gonna list it because I don't want to be rude like you. And then I would like be like, and after this, like I always try to take the high road. You know what I mean? I'd be like, after
You
this, I
do.
don't a good
You
a
do.
good match and I'm too great for this and I'm just gonna leave you here in the dust. Something along those lines. But I know you would probably be like, yeah, and your dick is small, and you're going bald, and you got a receding hairline, and you kind of cross-eyed, and you got a fucking, you boat-legged, and your mama, she got one boobie bigger than the other, and like I know
I'll pull
you
out the list.
just making shit up.
I would. That's funny. Yeah, you're right.
I know. I 100% know. You wouldn't stand for that shit.
Oh,
You'd be
hell
like,
no.
even if you knew nothing about that person, you would roast every single thing about you'd be
Right.
like, how the fuck did you order the fucking spaghetti? Like, why would you come to the restaurant and order spaghetti? That is such a messy meal. Only dumb dudes do shit. Like, I can just see you like just making something out of nothing just to show him like, yeah, bitch, now let's see who's the flawed one.
Like, who comes here wearing, like, who comes here wearing a shirt? Like, I would just make him some stupid stuff just to make him feel stupid. Like, for real.
And if he brought a list of 10, bitch, I know you would bring out 11 flaws of his. Like, just because,
Girl,
like, on
girl,
principle, you're more flawed than me.
girl. I would count, and I would even make it, like, count with my fingers just to show him that I one-upped him.
Oh, man. Did she explain how the rest of that conversation even went?
No,
Like,
no, that
left
was
it at
it.
that.
I think she kind of gave up after that. She went home crying, threw herself in a pillow, and like you said, threw on some Avril Lavigne, and
Hmm.
I think it was Kelly Clarkson.
You're my happy ending.
Right.
Okay. Um, So this one is a little bit cray cray. So it's a customer had a tantrum over being cut off and bit my arm. Uh, so she
Oh,
said that
we got a biter on aisle two.
we got a biter. Ew, that sounds like so much worse. Okay, it says I had to cut someone off yesterday because he vomited in our bathroom. Another employee happened to be in there and flagged me down. The guy who was obviously wealthy was trying to bribe me to keep serving him, but I held my ground. He got really disrespectful. It was talking down to me because apparently that's what rich, angry people do is talk down on lower class workers just doing their job. I reached across to grab his glass and he grabs her arm and then bit down full force, didn't let go for 6 or 7 seconds. So then she's screaming from the pain, and then eventually he like released. Manager came, called the police, but then the guy left before the police got there. And she's like, I doubt anything will ever come from it because, he's so rich. But if they could find him, she would gladly testify. And she's like, I don't know if it's worth it being a server these days if I got to deal with shit like that. Which, I mean, yeah.
Oh my God. Don't they teach you in kindergarten not to bite? Like,
right. Who does shit like that? Like, you're so fucking drunk off your
you're
ass.
just like a mad dog. You just like bite people because you don't get your way.
I don't know.
Jeez.
I just feel like
That, oh my
so weird.
God.
Like, I automatically think that there's something wrong with you if you're an adult that bites. That means that you're like on some cannibal shit. You want to taste my blood and my flesh, bitch? I know I look delicious, but I don't think that I taste as good as
Right.
I look.
You're like,
From
I mean, I know
that.
I'm a whole snack, but
Right.
I mean,
Come on now.
let's
Like,
not
it's
take it that far.
figuratively speaking, not literally.
Right.
Literally.
Oh
Like,
my
that's
God.
crazy. I don't know what I would do with like I would have punched him in the fucking face.
Oh,
I'm
I
not a
would.
violent person, but if you put your hands on me or if you harm me, like it's
All bets
over.
are off. I mean, like,
It
you're gonna
hurts,
see my foot, you're gonna see my hand, you're gonna see everything that comes at you.
man. Like I can't even imagine. I can't like how people say like they just like they get so angry like they just black. I
Black
feel like
out.
that's the
Right.
thing that would make me black out
Right. If
because
anybody try to leave teeth
that's
mark on
so
me,
crazy.
it's over.
Yeah. Like,
It's
what
over.
if you get fucking rabies from them or something? You know what's crazy? I actually was bit before. Now that I think about it, I didn't. How do I fucking forget this?
Wait,
I used to work
what?
at. Yeah, I used to work at an assisted living facility, and I worked in the memory care unit. And like one of the clients, she got mad at me because I took away like one of her babies,
Yeah.
like the baby doll,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and like, because I wanted her to come out of the room and take her medication, and she wouldn't come, so I took the baby doll. Like she was trying to grab
Yeah.
it off and she got mad and she bit me on the arm and then I was crying. She didn't like break skin, but like I went to the doctor. The whole situation like was just crazy. Like they had to do a whole like incident report. We had to do like the work comp for it. And
Really?
but I was low key scared for a little bit because I'm like, she's like, when you're in, have dementia and stuff, like there's been times where we caught her like in the toilet, like playing with like,
Her
turds and
feces?
stuff like that.
Really?
Like she like gets into stuff but doesn't know what she's getting into.
Oh,
So like
wow.
that alone, I
Yeah.
was like, no, I definitely need to
Right.
get this shit out. But
Right.
I have been bit before. But
Wow. Oh my gosh. I would be so livid. Like, literally. Dude,
tell
I couldn't even imagine. Because they didn't get their way.
exactly because they wouldn't let you continue to drink so much that you like black out,
Right.
and profusely and projectile vomit
Right.
all over everything. Like, why would they want somebody like that around?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how much, like, you got all this money. Why not just get a fucking bottle and go home and
Right.
just continue to
Do it in
party
the
at
comfort
home?
of your own home.
Yeah,
Right.
But people are just so fucking
Yeah.
miserable.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. Okay, so this one says 34 years ago, I was caught with a bunch of work computers, approximately $25,000 worth, and was charged with grand theft. There was an error in the official records, though. They had my name and birthday wrong. I didn't provide my license or social security number either, repeatedly insisting that I couldn't remember them during my 3-month sentence. Even now, I still occasionally perform background checks on myself, and to be honest, my heart pounds every single time, even though my record continues to come up clean.
So wait, he's gotten away with. Oh, why would you even put that on the fucking internet? Just like the thought of somebody being able to find out that and then put it on your record, like
Dude, you just
stuff keep my
keep your
mouth
mouth
shut.
fucking shut and
Yeah,
you just lay low for the rest of your fucking life.
exactly.
$25,000 is a fucking grand theft.
Right. Like you should be in prison.
Right.
And
For a
you got
bunch
away.
of work computers.
I don't know. I feel like shit like that, people get away with it for so long, but it always
Yep, it always comes back to get you. Yep.
yeah, and then it's like 10 times fucking worse because now you've lived this whole life and created this beautiful life, and
Mm-hmm.
now sorry,
Yep.
jail.
And now your current job is in jeopardy. Your family that you
Exactly.
created, people look at you differently, and now you got to do all this time. Everything's catching up to you. Mm-mm.
Exactly.
You keep your mouth shut. Why would you even write it? let alone speak of it.
Exactly. Like,
dumbass.
I would be so afraid that shit would get like go viral and get tracked back. Like, because anything can go fucking viral these days.
And now we're talking about it. Girl,
which I mean,
it's gonna go viral. You know what? I would be even scared to even whisper about it. Like,
I would be scared to even think about that shit. Like, I'd be like, what if there's like somebody out here that can read my mind, a fucking psychic? They're gonna snitch on me. I can't. Like they have the TV shows like where it's like they always have like their quirky consultant. Like, what if there's a psychic consultant, working for the police? They're driving by, they heard me thinking about it. Oh no.
Yeah, no, you keep that shit on lockdown. You just don't think about it.
For real. Like, he's dumb. He or she, whoever the fuck they are. You just getting ready. I mean, put yourself in that fucked up situation. Okay. This last one that I have here. I feel like we haven't had a poop story in a long time.
Why did I just get so excited?
We haven't had a poop story in so long.
Like, I was like, did you see my eyes light up? I'm like, ooh.
So, this one's kind of funny. So, they said, I made a KFC worker clean my poop, and it's been on my mind for months.
So, oh no, KFC.
I know.
KFC, no.
But I feel like that's also the most likely place for a situation to happen. Yeah. So, this person said, I live in a small southern town in Missouri, about an hour from St. Louis. It's a small town where you go to the surrounding towns to run errands. So him and his girlfriend were heading home from the grocery store 2 towns over, and on the way back, he said, I felt the unsettling chirp from the devil himself through my butthole. His exact words.
Bubble gut.
So he said, I got off the highway and then I went to a gas station to get gas and to poop. Went in, paid for the gas, and then tried to go to the bathroom, but somebody was in there. So I went outside, pumped the gas, and then went back in, but the bathroom was still locked. So at this point, it was do or die. It felt like holding it in was an Olympic sport. There's a KFC right next door to the gas station, so he drove the car over there to park. Runs in the bathroom, leaving the car running, left his girlfriend inside, and he does his business. There's more to it. So he runs inside, and the stall was out of order, but he had to go so bad that it was either shit his pants or shit in the out of order.
Oh no! How rude! How rude! That is the rudest.
So then, of course, he's like, well, I went back to my car with clean pants, so that means he took a shit in the out of order toilet, and
he's going to hell.
Said that the girlfriend noticed that he looked disgruntled. So apparently he was bothered by the fact that he did it, but he still did it. So he told the girlfriend, I just pooped in a toilet that was out of order, and now some KFC employee is gonna have to clean my poop out of a toilet. I almost started crying. This was about 4 to 6 months ago, and it always lingers in the back of my head. And to the KFC employee that had to clean my 6-minute long monster turd, I'm sorry.
Dude, I am at a loss for word. What? I'm at a loss for word right now.
I wonder,
that is the rudest.
Okay. So the toilet's out of order. I wonder if there was water in the toilet, or if you just took a shit in a toilet that was empty, and now they have to fish that shit out on top of.
Be still, my subtle heart. It's one thing to have a clogged toilet because you can still plunge it out. Right. But it's another thing to have an out of service toilet where it's not water's not flushing through. Now they gotta suction that out. Dude, you know what I would do?
And you know that it's not gonna be maintenance. It's the employees that are gonna have to be the ones to fish the shit out of the toilet. You know what I mean? No. That is so fucking gross.
No, you know what I would do if I was those employees? Wow. You know how petty I am. Girl.
You'd look back on the cameras, find out who they were.
You know me. I will make it my life mission to go back in those security cameras and get the outside video of the license plate number of that car, get a screenshot of still image of whoever this motherfucker is, print it in color, print it and post it all over town of where this car belongs to, and make this individual pay for the damages that they have caused to my soul.
Wow. Well,
that is what I will do.
I mean, it seems like an appropriate response.
Yes. If I had to clean out their poop from a out of service toilet, what would you do? Would you clean it up and just?
The toilet was out of service. Like no. you went in there anyway, knowing that the toilet was out of service.
Yes, so that is the biggest disrespect.
Even with you having to go as bad as you had to go, like I would have went. Like he should have went into like the women's restroom.
Go to the women's.
Like it'll be embarrassing when you come out, but guess what? You're in a small fucking town anyway. It's not like it makes that big of a difference. So why not? Now you just ruined somebody's fucking whole day, their whole life. Let's be honest.
I will quit before I clean anybody's poop.
Before I have to fish some turds out of the toilet, bitch. For a minimum wage job?
I will quit. I will quit before I clean out anybody's poop out of a toilet that's out of service. It's one thing to be plunged. It's one thing to be clogged, but it's another thing to be out of service. Screw that.
I completely agree.
That's the biggest disrespect. But I will do that. I will I will spend my own money out of my pocket to print color photos, 100 copies, and put it all over their town that they live in.
Like, you guys got a sneaky shitter around here.
Yep. For real.
Sneaky shitter amongst populations around here.
Watch out for the turd shitter. Like, for real. Oh, biggest disrespect. That just hurt my heart.
Oh, man. It was good. It feels good to have another poop story.
Oh, I was so excited for that story, too. And it just crushed my soul.
That's the beauty of poop stories, right? Okay. Are you ready for the discussion?
Let's do it. I love discussion stories.
Okay. So this one's kind of juicy. A little juicy.
I love
juicy am ones. I the asshole for telling my mother-in-law that if she expects me to get a DNA test for my son, then I want her to get a DNA test for my husband? Bitch.
Is that the end? Bitch.
And a little razzle-dazzle.
Okay.
Okay, so I met my husband, Steven, at a party. Instantly connected, been happily married for 5 years, and now have a 4-month-old son. I met my mother-in-law at his uncle's funeral, and he asked me to attend in support of him. Before we left, his cousin warned me about the mother-in-law. He said, she's not the nicest person, and she has impossibly high standards to meet, can be judgmental, so don't take it personally, as she's like that with everyone. I did ask my husband, and he agreed that the mother-in-law can be quite judgmental, but not to worry, that he'll be there for me. I felt like they gave me the sugar-coated version of her because she was terrible. She made a scene about bringing a stranger to a family funeral, but my husband cut her off and said his aunt, who was the widow, said that he could bring her. So, like, the mother-in-law made a big deal of it about him bringing the girlfriend, or the wife. So she spent the rest of the funeral giving me nasty looks and making passive-aggressive comments. And she made a scene at her wedding, but that's a different story on its own. But after minimal contact with my mother-in-law, my husband eventually got around to telling her that I was pregnant. I expected her to be angry and have a go at him, but she was surprised at both of us and was the complete opposite. She was excited about being a grandmother. She was congratulating us. Her attitude did have a complete turnaround, and I allowed her to visit. So when it was time to give birth to the son, she wanted to see the son being born, but she refused. She was like, I don't want you coming in while I'm giving birth. And that pissed the mother-in-law off. So then she like started showing her ugly side then. And it like caused a scene, and she like had to get thrown out of the hospital because she was just acting a fucking fool. So later, at that point, she's like, I don't want her to visit us at the house. Like, if she's
Mm-hmm.
gonna act like that at a hospital, like, I don't want her around. Husband agreed. But every day she would call crying and apologizing, saying that she was overwhelmed about being a grandmother and that her emotions just got the better of her and all this shit, all these excuses. So then again, against my better judgment, I relented and said, okay. And then when she first held him, she looked at me and said he was beautiful. I went to the kitchen to get us a drink, and then I could hear my husband telling her to get out. So I went back in, and she started yelling at me, uh, or she started yelling at me saying that he needed to get the baby tested because he doesn't look like anyone in their family. He kicked her out. She took to social media and told everyone that she cheated on the husband, that the husband needs to get a DNA test to prove that he's a dad. And she got a lot of attention off of that. So then she made her own post, like the wife made her own post and said, I'll get a test when she gets a test for her son. And then that just made everything worse. And then she calls up the husband, telling him to take it down. He hangs up on her. Everyone's divided. Everyone's, asking the husband, like, should he get the paternity test? Because now, like, she put that thought in everybody's head. And now the husband is even starting to wonder and making her feel like she went too far with, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
her saying, like, if you do it, then if I
Mm-hmm.
do it, then you're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
So now the husband is like starting to suspect it too. She's like, am I an asshole for like doing what I did and basically making the situation worse?
No, she's not an asshole for that. I don't think.
I don't think.
I don't think so. I think she did that out of anger, which I can understand. I don't think that that was necessary for her to make a post out of that out of anger. Make a post of that, but I understand she did that out of anger. But I also think that she doesn't owe anybody a DNA test. Um, it's between her and her husband. It's not between the
Right.
mother-in-law. If the
Mhm.
husband starts to question it, um, it should be questioned out of his curiosity, not because it was. It's not. It shouldn't be because of the mother, because of what his mom um put into his thoughts into his head.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if
And I
he
think that he probably would feel torn though because it's like
right,
now with you starting to feel like your own because if so many people are saying like all this shit and the mom started all this shit and then other people are commenting on it and
yeah,
like to at some point he's gonna start to think like okay maybe I should get the test.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that,
hmm
but at the same time it's like how do you have that conversation just between the two of you
right,
when it's like okay, well now you're saying you won't get it unless my mom gets one for
yeah,
me. Like, I don't know. I feel like yes, it was petty for her to do that,
hmm
but like the mom went to social media first. She went to social media and aired out all the shit and was
hmm
making lies
yeah,
about the girl. Now, whether or not she, cheated on him before they got pregnant, we don't know, but
yeah.
unlikely, right? So
But it
like
sounds like they had a really strong relationship though.
who?
The wife and husband. It sounded like they had a
Yeah,
strong relationship, and he
right.
was defending her this whole time. The reason that the only reason why that he had that thought in his head was because the mom put it in his head.
Exactly.
If I was
But like,
her,
how did he let her put that thought in his head if his relationship was so strong? Like,
you would be
it's like
surprised.
if you know that like somebody is a fucking liar
hmm
and they lie about everything and they make a big deal out of everything, like it's hard to take their word for shit because sometimes you just think like, oh, maybe they're just doing this to stir up drama or just
hmm
for whatever reason. So why would you take your mom's word for that, but not take her word for everything
But
else?
you would be
You know?
surprised at how convincing, especially your mom, can be to you. If your mom keeps saying, "Well, you got to look at our family line," it
Hmm.
bring up all the pictures from your grandparents to your great grandparents to your great great grandparents, and your child may not resemble. You know, uh,
Hmm.
it could be a missed DNA somewhere. And that child could really be yours, but it could be a missed DNA, and that happens all the time.
Hmm.
And then you really start to question it. But if I was the wife, here's what I would do. I would sit down with my husband and I would have an agreement, and I would put this on paper because words doesn't really mean shit. I need something that's backup. I would say, I am willing to take a DNA test. Your mom doesn't even have to take a DNA test. I said that out of pity and I said that out of anger. I would take
Hmm.
a DNA test, but the agreement is, I know this is your child. because I have never done you wrong. I have never stepped out of our marriage. I'm going to take this DNA test to prove that this is your child. And when, not if, when it comes back that this is your child, your mother is not have any contact with this child. Because she doubted my relationship, our relationship. She doubted my commitment to you as a wife. She doubted my child's bloodline to tie us together. Mm-hmm. So when my child comes back, when my child's DNA come back that this is our child, your mother is not have any contact with this child with or without my presence there.
Yeah.
That's the agreement. Yeah. Otherwise, you will have to take my word for it that this is our child with trust. So True. You will agree. And that's the final say. Yeah. That's the final say.
That puts the ball back into his court. So it's like, if you want to go through with this, if you're going to, take the word of your mom, then we can go through with it. Yeah. But don't get mad when, now she's not allowed to come and see the kid anymore. And, she's crying and all this shit. Mm-hmm. It's like, at some point you have to realize too, like, obviously the mom has been like that her whole fucking life, to the point where, people are warning her about it. Like, why would you want your child to be around somebody like that?
Negative and just drama and it's unfortunate.
So it's like they've cut the mom off before and said, like, you can't come around. So obviously the husband doesn't have that much of a problem with it, but the person who's most affected and she doesn't realize by all the shit that she's stirring up is the mother-in-law. Mm-hmm. Like, you're the one who's putting that the distance now between you're not going to be able to have a relationship with your grandchild because you wanted to act fucking fool.
Right. And I would say before my child earns any type of relationship with his grandmother, she needs to earn her trust and relationship with me first. Before I trust my child with any type of relationship with her, it starts with me first. Before once I gain the trust with her, then they can start coming into my child's life. Yeah. But no relationship with my child until the relationship starts to mend and heal with me first. Then I can start to allow my child into her life. But until then, if we take this DNA test, go back to what I said. And if you don't agree to those terms, then those are my terms. That's my child too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Simple. Period.
I like it. I love it. I want
some more of it. Do you agree with what I say though, or do you have a different thought on that?
I totally agree. I think that is fair. I think it's reasonable. Mm-hmm. And like, honestly, if you were in a situation like that, like there's no point in conversing with the mother-in-law about anything. Like, this is an issue now between you and your husband, and it's not your responsibility to put your husband's mother in her place.
Right. When it comes his.
It's his. Mm-hmm. It's his responsibility. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, like, he's the one who has to, set things right. Yeah. And
I'm not going to go in there yelling. I'm not a yeller. I'm not going to go in there yelling. I'm not going to go in there with ultimatums. It's his mom. It's his message to relay. It's my duty to take care of my child and see what's best for my child. I'm not going to put my child in a toxic environment with drama and negativity. Simple.
I agree.
Period. Guess what?
Period. Exclamation point. What? It's hypothetical question time. Hypothetical question. Okay. This was kind of funny. I thought it was kind of funny.
Then I'm going to think it's hilarious.
Yeah, you're probably going to think it's fucking out of this world. Okay. So the hypothetical question is that there's a guy at a grocery store. It's not really a question, it's a situation. Let's put it like that. So there's a guy at a grocery store and he is just fucking bullying the shit out of you, right? So, you're in the bread aisle, and you're looking, trying to find the sourdough bread, and,
I love me some sourdough bread.
Exactly. So he comes up to you and he's like, "What's up, you little bitch?" And, you're like, what?
My heart's pounding already.
Yeah. He came up to you just off the bat, rude. He was like, "I bet you have no friends. I bet you, all your friends are just online nerds and you cry yourself to sleep at night. Well, I have a hot girlfriend. I have a big ass car, a luxury car, 6-figure career. I got a mansion. My friends hang out with me every weekend. Get on my level, bitch virgin. And then he snatches the bread that you were about to buy. This is the last fucking loaf of sourdough, right? He snatches it and then he like crumples it, squishes the bread and then drops it on the ground. How do you react? This man just comes up to you mad aggressive. What up, bitch? I bet you ain't got no friends, huh?
Oh my god. Okay. I would probably bust out laughing, first of all. I wouldn't even be mad, to be honest. I would bust out
Really?
laughing. Yeah. And then if he
No.
continues to.
You'd be ready to fight immediately. You underestimate sometimes your
Depending on the
reaction.
mood. I think it's depending on the mood I'm in. If I'm like in a hurry and I was really, really craving some sourdough bread, okay, I think I would be mad. If it was like the last sourdough bread.
Yeah. You just snatch the shit out your hand and fucking, squish the bread up. You can't get that bread to unsquish.
Girl.
So now
I would probably ram him with my cart as hard. Right in the fucking ankles. Where it hurt the most.
I'd probably just be looking at him like, are you talking to me? Like,
I would probably be at Target, and Target, they got some heavy ass carts. So I would take, and then by then I would have all the stuff in my cart, so it makes it extra heavy. So I would take my cart, and if you push it back a little bit, it gives you more oomph, right? So push it back a little bit and just kind of rev it up, bam, right into his ankle, where it'll just knock him out. And he could take that squished sourdough bread with him. And when he's down, I just tell everybody to just
chop him.
Yep. And around the sourdough, around the bread aisle, they have like the scones, and they have like the muffins and all the shit.
Yeah.
Throw all that shit on him.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fuck him up. He can have all the scones with him.
I would like he'd be like wearing a baseball cap, right? And I'd be like, "What motherfucker? What did you say?" I'd take his cap and I'd put it down over his eyes so he can't see any shit. Turn
You just
around,
give him a wet willy.
Yeah. Well, after I give him a wedgie, I'm gonna pull that bitch all the way up. I'm like, yeah, that's why you wearing tidy whities, bitch.
No,
and
girl,
then,
you pull it up. There's gonna be bacon strips under, because that motherfucker don't wipe. If you
I'm gonna give him a wedgie, and then I'm gonna fucking, do like a whole wrestling move. Like I'm gonna fucking flip him over my shoulder, and then I'm be like, oh, coming around for round 2. Pick that bitch up. I'm dragging you down the aisle. I'm like, Daddy, look at this guy. He's rich, and all his friends hang out with him on the weekends. Like,
okay, and let's reel it back. In reality, what would you do?
Okay. In reality,
what would you do?
I don't know. I probably would just be like what are you talking about? Like I'm so confused. I'd be like what are you fucking talking about? Like I think you got the wrong person. I don't know. I'd probably just walk away. But before that bitch got my sourdough bread, I would have walked away. Like I wouldn't have stood there and took all that shit. As soon as he started talking about how I didn't have no friends, I'd be like, "What do you know?" And then I would have walked the fuck away with my lonely ass and my sourdough bread, and I would have been
your
fucking
squished
happy.
sourdough bread.
No, this is before he knocks it out of my hand and squishes it. Because if I'm not allowed to give him a wedgie,
No, you'd be like, I don't care. I like rye anyways, bitch.
like I don't even. That sourdough bread was fucking moldy anyway. I was gonna get white bread, bitch. What you mean? I was gonna make a grilled cheese. I can't take anything in life serious. I don't even realistically speaking, I really don't know what the fuck I would do. Like I would just be like, what are you talking about? Like I would be so confused, or I would just walk away. Like I wouldn't even entertain it.
For real, okay. God honest truth, I would probably look at him like, I would be like, are you serious right now? And then I would probably snatch it out of his hand, throw it somewhere, and I would probably ram my cart into him, and then I don't know. That's probably it. And then
I
I
don't
would
know.
probably go ask for more sourdough bread in the back, and they probably have them.
I mean, I think like kind of like you said, like depending on like what mood you're in. Like if you're already irritated, that makes it so much worse. But like if I'm just like happy, normal, content, you know, then I'm not giving it that much attention. But if I was like angry, I'd be like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? What's wrong with you? I'd be in his face. What's going on, man? What's wrong with you, pal?
Pal, what are you doing, pal?
Get out of here, buddy, or I really kick your ass.
What's your mom's number? I'm gonna call her. I'm gonna call her right now. Security.
Somebody call an ambulance.
Somebody call an ambulance. This guy's gonna need it.
I'm gonna give you a knuckle sandwich. Have you ever had one of those?
You're like, you're asking for a pal. You would do something stupid like that too. You would say something stupid. Like, I think like in your like state of like your state of like panic, you would say something like, you're asking for a pal, call the ambulance because you're gonna need it.
You're gonna get out of my face or your ass is grass.
Don't make me open up a can of ass on you.
Be like, Jesus, take the wheel. I don't know. I'd probably say something like, what's your problem, man? Like, I'd be so fucking like, I'm so zoned out. Like, I go to the store, I get my shit, and I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to make eye contact with anybody. So like, if you're like, yeah, like if you're yelling at me, that means that you're like literally like arguing with yourself. Because I would literally like look you dead in the face. Like,
just be like, oh, that's funny.
I think I would just laugh. I think it would be too funny. Like I couldn't hold my composure in a situation. I'd probably laugh, or I'd be like really pissed. I'd be like calling you like, girl, guess what the fuck just happened? I was getting sourdough bread. This bitch came up to me and told me that I had no friends. Well, guess what? I'm talking to my friend right now. I'll show him. Be like, hey, you said I had no friends?
Say hi. Say hi. Say hi.
Like, oh, let me put it on FaceTime.
That reminds me of that. Do you remember when you were? It was Thanksgiving one year, and you said that you had went to go get something for Thanksgiving, and there was a guy that hit on you. He had made a comment about like something about you were at Target. He made a comment. Yeah. What did he say to you? He's something like,
I don't remember. No, smelling candles is what happened. Like some old guy, and I can't remember what he said to me. But
he said something like you're a Thanksgiving meal or something like. He said you're a He said something.
Oh no, okay. I remember that. Okay, I was at Walmart and we were doing like it was something where like one of our friends at the time, she got a hotel room. We were gonna go to the pool and we were gonna do a summer party. We were at the hotel. So we went to Walmart so I could pick up pajama pants. And like I'm looking at he was like, damn, you a whole Thanksgiving meal. And I was like, thank you. I like got the fuck out of there so fast. Like
you didn't even know how to react.
I don't do good in situations like that, you know.
Said, thank you.
Thank you.
It was a ghetto Walmart too. I think every Walmart is ghetto, but
man, gotta love the fucking Walmart interaction.
Man, Walmart, gotta love it.
Anyway, let us know what you're doing in that situation, you guys, in the comments. Like, I want to know, what are you doing? What are you saying? How are you reacting? I have to know.
Would you just walk away, or would you be like me and just have everybody else in the Target jump them too? You know, bum rush them.
Riot.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So super glad you guys could jump on today and listen. We're gonna wrap it up, and I hope that you guys have a great freaking weekend.
Yep. Have a good weekend, and thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. We will see you guys next Friday, and yeah.
See you later, alligator.
Bye.
Bye.